Most of us live our entire lives inside a box we never question. A box built not from walls, but from thoughts. Thoughts inherited from family, society, fear, and our past failures. And the saddest part, many of us never realized the box was unlocked the whole time. This is the story of a young man named Mauro, and how a single encounter changed the direction of his life forever. Mauro grew up believing life was supposed to be small dreams, small expectations, small risks. In his community, dreaming big was seen as dangerous, almost foolish. People would say things like, "Don't aim too high," or "People like us don't get lucky." And Mauro absorbed every single word. He didn't lack talent or intelligence. He only lacked permission to imagine something more for himself. One morning, while running errands, Mauro stumbled upon a marketplace stall filled with the most extraordinary objects he had ever seen. Intricate carvings, rare stones, and artifacts from distant and known places. Behind the stall sat an old man named Karun, known by the villagers as the collector of impossible things. People whispered that Karun had traveled to lands so far away they didn't even exist on maps. Curious, Mauro approached the old man and picked up a strange glass sphere swirling with color. Karun watched him silently before saying, "Beautiful, isn't it?" Mauro nodded. Karun continued, "This orb comes from a desert where the sand glows at night. Only those who believe the journey is possible ever reach it." Mauro laughed nervously. "I could never travel to a place like that." Karun studied him for a moment. "Who told you that?" Mauro just shrugged. "Nobody. It's just impossible." The old man smiled gently and said, "Impossible is a small word used by small minds. The question is not whether the place can be reached, the question is whether you can grow big enough to reach it." Those words unsettled Mauro. For the very first time, he questioned the invisible boundaries he had accepted his whole life. Karun reached beneath the table and pulled out a simple wooden box. "Take this," he said. Inside was just a blank notebook. "Write the biggest dream your mind can hold, not the dream you think is realistic, the one you're afraid to even admit to yourself." Mauro hesitated. He didn't even know how to think big. But that night, under the dim light of his room, he opened the notebook. His hands trembled. Slowly, he wrote, "I want to build something that outlives me." It felt ridiculous, impossible, too big, but also alive. The next day, Mauro returned to Karun. "I wrote something," he said quietly. Karun nodded. "Good. Now understand this. The moment you allow yourself to think big, your world begins to stretch." Over the following months, Mauro visited Karun often. The old man taught him ideas that shattered every belief Mauro once held. He would say things like, "That dream you have, it is not too big. Your thinking is just too small," or "The size of your dream determines the size of your courage." And small thinkers look for guarantees, big thinkers look for possibilities. Mauro's mind began to expand. He stopped describing his dreams as silly. He stopped shrinking himself to make others comfortable. He stopped living like a man trapped in a room with open doors. But growth is never easy. The more Mauro dreamed, the more criticism he received. People mocked him, laughed at him, and called him unrealistic. And for a moment, Mauro almost retreated back into his old life, the safe, small life he was so used to. Until one day, he visited Karun and confessed, "Maybe everyone is right. Maybe I'm dreaming too big." Karun simply asked, "Do their minds live inside your head?" "No." "Then why let them shrink your world?" That night, something powerful shifted inside Mauro. He realized the truth. The world is full of people who fear big dreams, not because the dreams are impossible, but because they themselves stop dreaming. Mauro decided he would no longer be one of them. Over the next few years, he built exactly what he wrote in that notebook, something that outlived him. A foundation that educated children from poor communities. What started as one classroom grew into 12. What began as a small idea became a movement. People who once mocked him now spoke his name with respect, not because he was lucky, not because he was special, but because he dared to think bigger than the life he was born into. Mauro went back to the market to share the incredible news with Karun, but the old man's stall was empty. He had vanished, just as mysteriously as he had appeared. But on the table sat one final message. Written on a torn piece of paper, you grew big enough. Now help others grow too. In the end, Mara learned one powerful truth. Your life expands or shrinks in proportion to the size of your thoughts. Think small, and your world stays small. Think big. And life has no choice but to grow with you. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll. Drop one lesson you learned in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.